Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 20th day of April. Here we go. Remember that you are in the middle of a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, and all of your Rosh Chodesh additions, of course, have to be said in your davening, your benching, etc. We were in the middle of discussing with you how there are some opinions that the reading of the Torah in Shul is a congregational responsibility, which would have some halachic ramifications, and some say it's an individual responsibility, which would have other halachic ramifications. But today, the ones that are pretty much agreed upon by both sides, and here they are. Both sides of this debate agree that 10 men must be listening to the Torah reading while the Torah is being read, otherwise the mitzvah has not been fulfilled. So a shul has to arrange it such that you be certain that there are 10 men listening to the Torah reading, otherwise the mitzvah has not been done. That's how the Aruch HaShulchan says it. He says the mitzvah is not fulfilled if there were not 10 men listening to the reading of the Torah. Both sides of this debate say that no one should be talking during the reading of the Torah. And the Shulchan Aruch calls it a sin that's too great to be forgiven if people are talking during the reading of the Torah. If a person allows himself the heter, the allowability of learning quietly during laning, during the Torah reading, then it must be exactly that. It must be quiet so that it does not disturb the hearing of the laning of the Torah reading for all the other people that are in the shul. Talking and learning during the actual reading of the Torah is not permissible at all. Talking and learning during the Ben Gavra Legavra, which means between aliyahs, is debated upon. Some say yes and some say no. It's probably best for you to try not to talk then either, just so that the decorum of the shul stays nice and quiet. But that is actually debated in the poskim. I want to tell you about an interesting situation that applies to this week. You know that this past week in America we laned the Parsha of Shmini, and this past week in Israel they laned the double Parsha of Tazria Metzorah. So anybody flying to Israel this week heard Parsha Shmini, missed Tazria Metzorah, and if they're in Israel this coming Shabbos, they will not hear Tazria Metzorah. Now, in deference to the conversation that we just had, if you believe that it's a command that falls onto the individual, and a lot of us like to be stringent and treat it as such, so every individual who flies to Israel this week has to say to himself, hey, when am I going to hear Tazria Metzorah? I didn't hear it when I was in the United States because it was Shmini. I'm not going to hear it in Israel this coming Shabbos because they already did Tazria Metzorah when I was doing Shmini. So a lot of people try to arrange to be at a minyan, only some shuls arrange this, that the entire Tazria Metzorah can be read at some point during the week. Some shuls already did it at Mincha on this past Shabbos. They laned Tazria Metzorah for people who were flying to Israel in the middle of the week. Some shuls could arrange it on Monday or Thursday, but please be aware of that, because if you want to fulfill the individual responsibility of hearing every bit of laning, then if you're flying to Israel this week, you have to get Tazria Metzorah heard by yourself sometime during this coming week. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Have a very good Chodesh. Bye-bye.